Caitlin Clark, how she's kept just taken over the country, and for that matter, maybe the world, and how she's encouraged so many young girls now to participate in sports, whether it's basketball or soccer or volleyball.
When Wayne Gretzky, the great one, hockey's undisputed GOAT, the guy with more NHL records than some teams have wins, speaks, the sports world stops. And now, he just spoke about Caitlin Clark. What he said will either have WNBA executives popping champagne or breaking a sweat, depending on whether they've actually been paying attention to what's been happening right under their noses.
Clark will go down as the best WNBA player ever. Yes, the best woman to touch a basketball.
Wayne Gretzky just gave Caitlin Clark the most powerful endorsement of her career. And this wasn't some polite, throwaway compliment. This was the great one recognizing a kindred spirit in Clark, someone changing the game the way he once did. Look at her, dominating not just the country, maybe even the world. Gretzky spoke with the kind of conviction only someone who's lived a sports revolution can have, praising how she's inspiring a whole new generation of girls to play basketball, soccer, volleyball, you name it.
My dad used to always say, the greatest thing about sports is that you learn so much about real life. You learn how to be unselfish. You learn how to be dedicated. You learn how to work hard. You learn how to win. And then you learn how to pick yourself up off the ground when you lose. And that's what life is all about. And so I just have so much respect for so many of these athletes that come along now. And as a fan, I just love it.
Think about what Gretzky just did. He didn't just praise Caitlin Clark, he crowned her a cultural phenomenon. The greatest hockey player of all time, a man with 894 goals and 1,963 assists, just said she's taken over the country, maybe even the world. That's not sports commentary, that's athletic royalty recognizing athletic royalty.
I think that they finally have their star. They finally have somebody that is going to drive viewership and drive excitement about the league. Arenas are actually starting to fill up more than 20%. And if Caitlin Clark is playing, they're selling out.
But here's where it gets really spicy. Gretzky's praise dropped just as the WNBA got a harsh reality check. Life without their transcendent star is brutal. While the great one was singing Caitlin Clark's praises, the league was staring down the cold, hard truth. They've become completely dependent on her. The numbers don't lie, and they're devastating for anyone still pretending Clark isn't carrying this entire league. When news broke that her left quadriceps strain would sideline her for at least 2 weeks, the WNBA didn't just lose a player, they lost their entire economic engine.
This just in. Caitlin Clark not playing brings down ticket prices in the WNBA. So apparently the price to get into the Fever versus Sky game on June 7th was originally $86 because Caitlin Clark was playing, right? Just 48 hours ago, it was $86. And now it's $25 because she's not playing. This alone silences that Caitlin Clark isn't the only reason why people watch the WNBA. Clearly, she's moving the needle. Because if people were coming to watch Miss Reese like she said they were, these ticket prices would not have been dropping like this.
If you're enjoying this, hit subscribe. Now, let's talk about the Indiana Fever without their superstar. They headed to Washington to face the Mystics, a game that should have been must-watch TV. Instead, reality hit hard. The Fever got crushed 83-77, dropping to 2-3. But the score? That's not the real story. The real shocker was what happened in the stands and on screens across America.
But like, there is no other playmaker better than Caitlin Clark in the WNBA, and like, I don't know if there ever has been. And like, that is great, but that also kind of sucks if you're the team that is missing her. So this to me looked like a scrimmage game that a new team coming together without their like star playmaker was learning how to get to know each other and how to play with each other like from scratch.
Ticket prices for that Mystics game plummeted 47% the moment Clark's injury was announced. Think about that. Nearly half the value of those seats vanished because one player couldn't play. The game, moved to a bigger venue to handle the Clark effect, suddenly became just another WNBA matchup that casual fans didn't care about. And the TV numbers? Even worse. The Fever, Mystics game without Clark drew 357,000 viewers on NBA TV. Just 8 days earlier, Clark versus the Atlanta Dream pulled in 581,000. That's a 38% drop, a number that has WNBA executives waking up in cold sweats.
Saturday, as previously noted, There is simply no substitute for having Clark actually in the lineup. The Fever's previous NBA TV game against Atlanta averaged 581,000. In addition, Clark's final game before her injury gave you 2.2 million on CBS. Folks, give it up a round of applause. 300,000 viewers. 357,000 viewers on NBA TV.
But it gets worse. Much worse. WNBA ratings without Caitlin Clark aren't just disappointing, they're catastrophic. While Clark's games this season have stayed on a record-breaking pace, consistently drawing over 2 million viewers, everything else has plummeted. The numbers don't lie. Games with Clark average 1.178 million viewers, while games without her barely hit 394,000. That's a 199% gap, wide enough to drive a freight train through. Put simply, even the most math-challenged exec can see it. Clark's presence draws 3 times more viewers than any other game.
WNBA is pretty much at a standstill with Caitlin Clark not being able to play. I mean, rubber is about to meet the road. I mean, everything they said last year is going to be unproven like no other, bro. They stated the league was on this trajectory to success many moons before Caitlin Clark got there. And hell, Caitlin Clark wasn't the only rookie to be the reason why the viewership was up. You had rookies like Angel Reese, Cameron Brink, and many others. Well, I'm here to tell you that is just not the truth, bro. The WNBA is in a crucial moment right now, and a lot of people are scratching their heads and wondering why would they lie to the people, having everybody think that Caitlin Clark was not the only reason this league was going in this upward trajectory.
Week 1 of the season gave hope beyond Clark's games. Paige Becker's WNBA debut pulled 639,000 viewers, and the Golden State Valkyries' inaugural game drew 581,000. For a fleeting moment, it seemed like maybe the WNBA had turned a corner. Maybe Clark's rising star was lifting all boats. Maybe the league had finally found sustained relevance. Then week 2 hit, and those dreams crashed harder than a meteor. Ratings didn't just dip, they plummeted below pre-Clark levels. Games that should have ridden opening week momentum delivered only 431,000 and 344,000 viewers. Numbers worse than the 2023 regular season average of 505,000. This is the nightmare scenario anyone with half a brain saw coming. But here's where it gets infuriating. While Wayne Gretzky is out there honoring Clark for the revolutionary impact she's having, proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that she's the most valuable asset in women's sports history, some players and pundits inside the WNBA seem hellbent on tearing down the very person who's been fueling their paychecks.
Why does Caitlin Clark have these unrealistic expectations, but Paige Beckers and these other players don't? And it makes no sense to me. So that is hate, because that's called moving the goalposts. So she has to win the championship in her first year to be considered the GOAT.
The targeting of Caitlin Clark has been blatant and systematic from her rookie season through this year. She's faced physical play that borders on assault, flagrant fouls, reckless hits, dangerous plays. And the WNBA? They shrug it off, acting like it's just part of the game. The evidence has been piling up for months. Video shows Clark using heat packs on her leg during games, grinding through pain while opponents hammer her. Coach Stephanie White admitted after MRI results that she wasn't even sure when Clark got hurt, showing just how normalized this targeting has become. Here's the kicker, the mind-numbing part: the very players trying to injure her are getting paid more because of her. Clark's rising star has lifted all boats, exactly like Gretzky said sports should. She's brought unprecedented attention, TV revenue, and fan interest to a league that had struggled for relevance for over 20 years.
So as you guys can see here, that's a major hit on Caitlin Clark on the ground. We all remember that last year, man. Dominic Shields, she up out of there, though. Kennedy Carter, another one, up out of there, though. Eugene Currington eye poke situation. This is just a brutal beating this young lady has been taking for a year now, man. And for the W to allow this to happen time after time again. And we see players like Breanna Stewart being able to draw 16 damn fouls, and the game ain't even facilitated through her. She's not even on the ball, bro. Like, it's getting out of hand, and I'm telling you.
When Wayne Gretzky talks about Caitlin Clark, he's not just praising her. He's applying the Gretzky standard, the gold measure of what it means to transform a sport. Gretzky knows this firsthand. He turned hockey from a niche obsession into mainstream entertainment, made the impossible look routine, and drew millions of fans to arenas across North America. He sees in Clark the same combination of burden and privilege he once carried as the face of his sport. In just 44 career games, Clark has rewritten multiple WNBA record books. She set the league's single-season assist record as a rookie, made the second most three-pointers in a season, and is averaging 19 points, 9.3 assists and 6 rebounds, all while turning every arena she enters into appointment television. But here's the bigger picture. Both Gretzky and Clark understand something critics often miss. Individual excellence lifts everyone around them. Gretzky didn't diminish hockey players. He made the sport bigger, better, and more profitable. Clark isn't taking opportunities from other WNBA players. She's creating opportunities that never existed before.